My school is surrounded by a thick forest on the California coast. It's located on a hill and it's pretty much isolated from civilization. There's a running trail that leads into the forest. I'm sure every school has its urban legend, whether it's ghosts that haunt the halls or whatever. Our urban legend is the Bunny Man. There are other legends of the Bunny Man in Virginia and Washington, D.C. areas. He's said to be a man wielding an axe and donning a bunny suit. The California equivalent of the Bunny Man is a middle-aged guy, around 40 maybe, that lures kids in with his pet bunny and mediocre accordion playing. Which sounds completely stupid, trust me. I thought it was ridiculous. He is said to live on school campus, out in the thick forest of the school, ready to prey on teenagers that wander onto the trail. My freshman year, I claimed it bullshit. I was positive it was just a way for upperclassmen to freak out the newbies. I decided to join the cross-country team, who avidly used the trail to get their mileage in. Let's just say that my friends and I weren't in very good shape our freshman year, so we would usually end up walking half the trail. The trail itself was around 2.5 miles, so it's a decent distance from the legitimate school campus. Being our adventurous, immature selves, we decided to go off-trail and explore the forest. Typical, right? We went down this makeshift dirt path that led downhill. There was an abundance of trees and bushes. The hill went down pretty deep, but none of my friends wanted to go down any further. And of course me, being the risk-taker that I am, decided to explore the depths of the school forest. I went in pretty far enough that I couldn't even get a view of my friends, whom were at the top of the hill. That's when I came upon a dirty teal tent. It was one of those small tents, the kind that could probably fit about 1 or 2 people. I came up to the entrance, making sure to be silent just in case someone was in there. Honestly, if someone had been in there, I'm not sure what I would have done. Inside the tent, there was a mattress and dirty clothes and rags scattered outside of the tent. It was obvious that someone was living there. I turned back to tell my friends about the discovery when I heard a rustling behind me. I didn't look back. I booked it up the hill and was thankful that cross-country kind of started getting me into shape. I was out of breath when I reached my friends, and they wanted to know what I saw. I told them about the tent and the rustling, and their faces turned pale. They looked up at the direction of the tent and ran up toward the main trail. I followed them behind. We ran all the way back to the school, out of breath and scared shitless. We wondered whether it was where the Bunny Man lived, but that was just the beginning. A couple weeks into running season, I started running on the trail by myself since I was finally in shape and capable. It proved to be a big mistake. My other 2 friends usually accompanied me on the trail were both busy with some project that day, or so they claimed, and varsity usually runs at a nearby park that promises more mileage into their running schedule. So pretty much I was alone on the trail. Since my school was near the ocean, thick mist usually rolls in during the afternoon, making the forest look a bit sinister. I had the tent on my mind during the whole run and thought about the Bunny Man. There were stories about how he raped kids and made kids watch him make love to his bunny, which motivated me to run even faster. When I neared the spot where I had seen the tent, I quickened my pace. I heard rustling behind me as if someone was chasing me, but I assured myself that it was just paranoia as I looked behind me and the rustling had stopped. I was halfway done with the trail when I swear to God I heard the creaking of a door. It sounded like the door hinges needed an oiling were closing. I stopped running to make sure I heard the creaking correctly. It stopped and it started back up again as I proceeded running. I tried shaking it off until I heard a faint playing of an accordion. My heart dropped and my blood ran cold. I had never been so terrified in my entire life. I had an adrenaline rush and I ran as fast as I could, but the playing of an accordion grew louder and louder. It was then that I was positive that someone was chasing me. I didn't look back. I couldn't. I knew it was the Bunny Man. My eyes started to water as I cried in fear. I was nearing the end of the trail when the accordion finally stopped, and I felt a sigh of relief. But I celebrated too soon as the accordion took its final puff as I ran out of the trail screaming. I had felt him tug my shirt. When I got to the school campus, it was empty and the fog rolled in and the school looked grim. I hastily grabbed my backpack from the bleachers and made my way up to the library so I wouldn't be alone. When I got to the library, I was still sniffling and wiping my tears. The librarian had asked me what had happened, and I told her about my experience in the forest. She looked shocked and decided that I was telling the truth. She called the school sheriff, who decided to take a look himself. A couple hours later, news got out that the police arrested an unidentified man on the high school campus. That's when I decided that the Bunny Man was real.